The big secret. Zara looked out of the window of her dorm room. Earth was so different from her home planet. The blue sky, the green trees, and the busy streets full of humans. It all seemed magical to her. She was an alien exchange student, and this was her first week on Earth. As she watched the sunset, Zara thought about how lucky she was. Not many aliens got to study on Earth. Humans had only joined the Galactic community a few years ago. They were still new and exciting to everyone in space. Zara turned back to her desk. She had homework to do. Her computer was open, showing a page about Earth history. But something was wrong. The screen flickered, and suddenly, a new page popped up. Zara's eyes went wide. On the screen were pictures of huge spaceships. But these weren't normal ships. They were warships, bigger and scarier than any she had ever seen. And they belonged to the Dark Council. What's the Dark Council? Zara whispered to herself. She had never heard of them before, but as she read more, she felt scared. The Dark Council was a secret group that wanted to control the whole galaxy, and they had been hiding these warships for years. Zara didn't know what to do. Should she tell someone? But who would believe her? She was just a student. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe she shouldn't have seen this at all. Just then, her roommate Jenny walked in. "Hey Zara, want to go get some pizza?" Jenny stopped when she saw Zara's face. "What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." Zara didn't know what a ghost was, but she knew she had to tell someone. "Jenny, come look at this," she said. Jenny walked over and looked at the screen. Her mouth fell open. "Oh my God," she said. "Is this real?" Zara nodded. "I think so. It just appeared on my computer." Jenny pulled out her phone. "We have to tell someone. This is big." Before Zara could stop her, Jenny had taken a picture of the screen and posted it online. "There," Jenny said. "Now everyone will know." Zara felt sick. She didn't know if that was the right thing to do. But it was too late now. Within minutes, Jenny's phone started buzzing like crazy. The picture was spreading fast. People were sharing it, talking about it. No one could believe it was real. An hour later, there was a knock on their door. Two serious-looking men in suits were standing there. "Zara," one of them said, "we need you to come with us." Zara looked at Jenny, who seemed just as scared as she felt. "Am I in trouble?" Zara asked. The man shook his head. "No, but we need to ask you some questions. It's very important." Zara nodded and followed them out. As they walked across the campus, she saw that everything was different. Students were gathered in groups, talking in worried voices. Some were crying. Others were on their phones, calling their families. They took Zara to a big building she had never been in before. Inside, it was full of people running around, looking busy and scared. They led her to a room where a group of important-looking humans were waiting. "Zara," one of them said, "we need you to tell us everything you know about these warships and the Dark Council." Zara took a deep breath. "I don't know much," she said. "It just appeared on my computer. I've never heard of the Dark Council before." The humans looked at each other. One of them turned to Zara. "What you found is very important. It changes everything we thought we knew about our place in the galaxy." Another human spoke up. "We always thought we were safe. That joining the galactic community meant peace, but now..." He didn't finish his sentence. Zara felt terrible. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." The first human shook his head. "You didn't cause trouble, Zara. You may have saved us all. If we didn't know about this, we couldn't prepare." Just then, someone ran into the room. "Sir," he said, "you need to see this." He turned on a big screen on the wall. It showed news from all over Earth. The secret was out. Everyone knew about the Dark Council and their hidden warships now. The room was quiet for a moment. Then one of the humans stood up. "Well," he said, "I guess we have work to do. Zara, thank you for bringing this to our attention. You can go back to your dorm now. But please, don't leave the campus. We may have more questions for you later." As Zara walked back to her room, she saw that the whole world had changed in just a few hours, all because of what she had found. She didn't know what would happen next, but she knew one thing for sure: nothing would ever be the same again. Humans get to work. The world changed overnight. The news about the Dark Council and their secret warships was everywhere. People were scared, confused, and angry. But the leaders of Earth knew they had to act fast. In a big, important building in New York, the United Nations held an emergency meeting. Leaders from all over the world came together. The room was noisy and tense. "We need to prepare for war," shouted one leader. "No, we should try to talk to them first," said another. The arguments went on for hours, but finally, they agreed on a plan. First, they would create a special team. This team would have the smartest people from all over the world: scientists, soldiers, and even regular people with good ideas. They called it the Earth Defense Initiative, EDI. Second, they would talk to their alien friends. Maybe some of them knew about the Dark Council. Maybe they could help. Lastly, they needed to learn more. They had to find out everything they could about these secret warships and the Dark Council. As the meeting ended, the President of the United States stood up. "This is our biggest challenge yet," she said. "But remember, humans have faced big problems before, and we've always found a way to win. We can do this. We must do this. For Earth, for our families, for our future." Meanwhile, in a secret lab under the city, the EDI team was already hard at work. Dr. Sarah Chen, a brilliant scientist, was leading the team. "Okay, people," she said, looking at the group around her. "We have a big job to do. We need to find a way to defend Earth against these warships. Any ideas?" A young man raised his hand. "What if we use our own satellites against them? We could turn them into a big space shield." "Good idea, Jake," said Dr. Chen. "Let's work on that." An older woman spoke up next. "I've been studying the picture of the warships. I think I see a weak spot in their design." "Excellent, Dr. Patel," said Sarah. "That could be very useful." As they worked, more information came in. Alien friends of Earth were sending messages. They were just as surprised about the Dark Council, but they promised to help however they could. One message was especially interesting. It came from a small, peaceful alien race called the Zorbans. They said they had seen these warships before, a long time ago. The ships had destroyed one of their planets. The Zorbans had been too scared to tell anyone before. This news made everyone work even harder. They knew now that the threat was real and very dangerous. Back at the university, Zara was trying to remember everything she could about the secret files she had seen. She told the EDI team about symbols she had noticed on the warships. This helped the team figure out more about how the ships worked. Days passed. The whole world was changing. Factories stopped making cars and started making spaceships and weapons. Schools began teaching about space and aliens. Everyone was doing their part to get ready. But not everything was going well. Some people were panicking. There were fights in some cities. People were scared, and sometimes that made them do bad things. The leaders of Earth knew they had to do something. They decided to tell everyone the truth about what was happening. They went on TV and the internet to explain the situation. "We face a great threat," said the Secretary General of the UN. "But we are not alone. We have friends among the stars. And more importantly, we have each other. Humanity has achieved amazing things when we work together. Now we must do it again." The speech helped. People began to calm down. They started to work together instead of fighting. All around the world, humans were showing their best side. They were being brave, clever, and kind. In the lab, Dr. Chen and her team had a breakthrough. They found a way to make Earth's satellites into a detection system. Now they could see the warships coming, even if they were trying to hide. "It's not perfect," said Dr. Chen, "but it's a start. We're not defenseless anymore." As the sun set on another busy day, Sarah looked out the window of the lab. She could see people in the street below. They were going about their lives, trying to be normal in a very not normal time. "We can do this," she said to herself. "We have to." And somewhere out in space, unknown to the people of Earth, the Dark Council was making its own plans. The battle for the future of humanity was about to begin. The bad guys. Deep in space, far from Earth, there was a planet that looked like it was made of dark glass. This was the home of the Dark Council. In a tall tower, 5 shadowy figures sat around a table. They were the leaders of the Dark Council. "So," said the first figure, his voice cold and hard, "the humans know about us now." "Yes, Lord Vex," said another, smaller figure. "Our secret got out because of that stupid alien student." Lord Vex, the leader of the Dark Council, stood up. He walked to a big window and looked out at the stars. "It doesn't matter," he said. "Our plan is too big to be stopped by some little humans." "But Lord Vex," said a third figure, "what if they get help from other aliens?" Vex turned around, his eyes glowing red in the dark. "Let them try," he said with an evil smile. "We've been planning this for 1,000 years. We're ready for anything." Meanwhile, back on Earth, the EDI team was working hard to learn more about the Dark Council. They had help from friendly aliens, but it wasn't easy. The Dark Council was very good at keeping secrets. Dr. Chen was looking at a star map when she noticed something strange. "Look at this," she said to her team. "All these planets that have been destroyed in the last 100 years. They make a pattern." Jake, the young team member, looked closer. "It's like they're clearing a path through the galaxy," he said. "But a path to where?" asked Dr. Patel. Just then, Zara burst into the room. "I remember something," she said, out of breath. "In the files I saw, there was a name. Project Galaxy Eater." Everyone in the room went quiet. Galaxy Eater. It sounded big and scary. Back on the Dark Council's planet, Lord Vex was explaining their plan to his team. "For too long, we've had to share the galaxy," he said. "But with the Galaxy Eater, we can remake everything. We'll destroy all the planets we don't want and keep the good ones for ourselves." The other council members nodded. They liked this plan. They had always thought they were better than everyone else in the galaxy. Now they could prove it. "What about Earth?" asked one of them. "Should we destroy it first, to scare the others?" Vex thought for a moment. "No," he said. "Earth is interesting. These humans are new, but they learn fast. Maybe we can use them." On Earth, the EDI team was putting the pieces together. They now knew that the Dark Council wanted to destroy most of the galaxy, but they still didn't know how. "We need more information," said Dr. Chen. "We need to find out what this Galaxy Eater is." "I have an idea," said Jake, "but it's dangerous." Everyone looked at him. Jake took a deep breath and said, "We need to catch one of the Dark Council's ships. If we can get inside, maybe we can learn more about their plans." It was a scary idea. The Dark Council's ships were big and powerful, but it might be their only chance. While Earth was making plans, the Dark Council was getting ready too. They started sending their ships out, clearing more paths through the galaxy. Everywhere they went, they left scared aliens behind. Some of these aliens sent messages to Earth. "Please," they said, "you have to help us. You're the only ones fighting back." This made the humans work even harder. They knew now that it wasn't just Earth in danger. The whole galaxy needed their help. Lord Vex watched all this from his dark tower. He saw the humans getting ready. He saw them making friends with other aliens. But he wasn't worried. "Let them try to stop us," he said to himself. "It will be fun to watch them fail." But Vex didn't know everything. He didn't know about Earth's secret weapon. Deep under the ocean, in a hidden base, humans were building something big. Something that might just be able to stop the Dark Council. As the sun set on another day, both sides were getting ready for the big fight to come. On Earth, humans looked up at the stars and hoped they were doing enough. And out in space, the Dark Council's ships moved slowly towards Earth, ready to show the galaxy who was really in charge. The stage was set. The galaxy was holding its breath. And somewhere out there, the mysterious Galaxy Eater was waiting to be found. The fate of everything hung in the balance, and no one knew what would happen next. Earth gets ready. The whole world was buzzing with activity. In every country, people were working day and night to get ready for the big fight with the Dark Council. Earth was like a giant anthill, with everyone doing their part. In New York, Dr. Chen and her team were putting the final touches on their plan to catch a Dark Council ship. "Remember," she said to her team, "we only get one shot at this. We have to make it count." Jake, the young team member who came up with the plan, looked nervous but excited. "I still can't believe we're really doing this," he said. Dr. Patil patted him on the back. "Your idea might save us all, Jake," she said. "Be proud." Meanwhile, in a secret underwater base near Australia, something amazing was happening. Engineers and scientists from all over the world were building Earth's secret weapon. It was a huge spaceship, bigger than anything humans had ever made before. "We're calling it the Hope," said the lead engineer, wiping sweat from her forehead. "Because that's what it is. Our hope for the future." The Hope was special. It used technology from Earth, but also ideas from their alien friends. It could move faster than any other ship, and its weapons were very powerful. But the best part was its shield. The shield could stop even the strongest attacks from the Dark Council's ships. Back in space, the Dark Council was getting closer. Lord Vex was watching Earth on a big screen. "Look at them," he said to his team, "running around like little ants. They have no idea what's coming." But Vex was wrong. Earth knew exactly what was coming, and they were ready. In China, a group of computer experts was working on a secret project. They had made a computer virus that could mess up the Dark Council's ships. "If we can get this into their computers," said the lead programmer, "we can shut down their weapons." In Russia, scientists had made a new kind of spacesuit. It was light and flexible, but stronger than steel. "Our soldiers will be safe in these," said the head scientist. "They can fight in space without getting hurt." And in Africa, a team of doctors had created a special medicine. "This will help our people stay calm and think clearly, even in the scariest moments of the fight," explained the chief doctor. All around the world, regular people were helping too. Farmers were growing extra food. Teachers were giving special classes about space and aliens. Even kids were doing their part, making posters to keep everyone's spirits up. Zara, the alien student who started it all, was now a big help to the EDI team. She was teaching them everything she knew about alien technology. "I never thought I'd be helping to save the galaxy," she said with a smile. As the day of the big fight got closer, Earth's leaders decided to do something special. They organized a global unity day. All around the world, people came together to celebrate and support each other. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower was lit up with colors from all the world's flags. In Rio de Janeiro, there was a huge parade with people dressed as friendly aliens. And in Tokyo, they had a big concert where musicians from every country played together. The President of the United States made a speech that was broadcast all over the world. "We face a great challenge," she said. "But look around you. See how we've come together. The Dark Council thinks they're stronger than us because they rule by fear, but we have something much more powerful. We have unity, creativity, and hope, and that's why we'll win." As night fell on Global Unity Day, something amazing happened. All around the world, at the same time, people went outside and looked up at the sky. Millions of people, all staring at the stars together. They were scared, yes, but they were also excited. They were ready to show the universe what humans could do. In her lab, Dr. Chen looked at her team. "Okay, everyone," she said. "It's time. Let's go catch ourselves a Dark Council ship." And far above the Earth, Hidden by its cloaking device, the Hope was ready for its first flight. The captain looked at her crew and smiled. "Let's show these Dark Council bullies what Earth can do," she said. The stage was set. Earth was as ready as it could be. The greatest adventure in human history was about to begin. The first big fight. The day everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. Earth's new space radar picked up a signal. A Dark Council ship was coming. In the EDI control room, alarms were going off. Dr. Chen looked at her team. "This is it, people. Are we ready?" Jake nodded, his face serious. "The trap is set. Let's do this." High above Earth, the Dark Council ship appeared. It was huge, like a floating city made of black metal. Inside, alien soldiers prepared for what they thought would be an easy fight. But Earth was ready. The Hope, Earth's secret spaceship, uncloaked right in front of the enemy ship. The Dark Council aliens were shocked. They had no idea humans could build something like this. The captain of the Hope spoke into her radio. "This is Captain Maria Rodriguez of Earth. We ask you to leave peacefully. If you don't, we'll have to fight." On the Dark Council ship, the alien commander laughed. "Puny humans," he said. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." He ordered his crew to attack. The space around Earth lit up with laser fire. The Dark Council ship shot huge beams of energy at the Hope. But the Hope's new shield held strong. The energy beams bounced off, harmless. Now it was Earth's turn. The Hope fired back, its weapons more powerful than anything the Dark Council had seen before. The enemy ship shook from the hits. Meanwhile, Dr. Chen's plan was working. While the Hope distracted the big ship, a small, fast Earth ship sneaked up behind the enemy. Jake was piloting it. "I'm in position," Jake said over the radio. "Launching the computer virus. Now." Inside the Dark Council ship, everything started to go wrong. Their computers went crazy. Weapons stopped working. Lights flickered on and off. The alien commander was furious. "What's happening?" he shouted. "Fix it now." But his crew couldn't fix it. The virus was too strong. The mighty Dark Council ship was helpless. Captain Rodriguez saw their chance. "All ships, attack now," she ordered. Earth's fleet, which had been hiding behind the moon, suddenly appeared. Hundreds of smaller ships swarmed the enemy vessel. They were piloted by brave men and women from every country on Earth. The battle was intense. Lasers and explosions lit up the sky. People on Earth could see it, like fireworks in space. Everyone watched, holding their breath. In the EDI control room, Dr. Chen and her team worked fast. They were hacking into the enemy ship's computers, stealing as much information as they could. "I've got it," shouted Dr. Puddle. "I have the plans for their fleet. And, oh my God, I know what the Galaxy Eater is." But before she could explain, something unexpected happened. The Dark Council ship started to glow. It was getting ready to explode. "All ships, get back," Captain Rodriguez yelled. "It's going to blow." Earth's ships scattered just in time. The enemy vessel exploded in a huge ball of light. The shock wave hit the Hope, making it spin. For a moment, everyone thought the Hope was destroyed too. But then, through the smoke and debris, the Hope appeared. It was damaged, but still flying. A cheer went up from every ship in Earth's fleet. They had won. Back on Earth, people were celebrating in the streets. They had faced their first big test and passed. Humans had proved they could stand up to the Dark Council. In New York, the EDI team was excited but serious. They knew this was just the beginning. Dr. Patel looked at the information they had stolen. "The Galaxy Eater," she said. "It's worse than we thought. Much worse." Dr. Chen nodded. "We won this battle," she said. "But the real war is just starting." In space, Captain Rodriguez looked out at her battered but unbeaten fleet. "Good job, everyone," she said. "Let's go home. We have a lot of work to do." As Earth's ships turned for home, news of their victory was spreading across the galaxy. Other alien races who had been afraid of the Dark Council were amazed. Maybe, they thought, these humans could actually win. And far away, in his dark tower, Lord Vex got the news of his ship's defeat. His eyes glowed red with anger. So, he said, the humans want to play rough. Fine. It's time to show them what real power looks like. He turned to his commanders. Prepare the Galaxy Eater, he ordered. We're going to finish this once and for all. The first big fight was over. Earth had won. But the biggest challenge was still to come. The fate of the entire galaxy now rested on what would happen next. Everyone fights back. News of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Alien races who had lived in fear of the Dark Council for centuries were amazed. The humans, newcomers to the galactic stage, had done what no one else could. On a planet called Zorbex, the Zorbian Council was meeting. They looked like tall, blue trees with eyes. If the humans can fight back, so can we, said the Zorgian leader. They sent a message to Earth. We want to join your fight. Similar meetings were happening on planets all over the galaxy. The fluffy cloud people of Nimbus 9, the rock giants of Boulder Prime, and even the tiny but smart nanobots of Micronia all decided to join Earth's cause. Back on Earth, the EDI team was working nonstop. Dr. Patel had figured out what the Galaxy Eater was. It's a machine, she explained, that can make stars explode. If the Dark Council uses it, they could destroy whole solar systems. Dr. Chen looked worried. We need to find it and stop it, she said. But how? Just then, Jake burst into the room. You guys need to see this, he said, turning on a big screen. It showed hundreds of spaceships arriving near Earth. But they weren't Dark Council ships. They were allies, coming to help. The president called an emergency meeting. Leaders from Earth met with alien representatives from all over the galaxy. The room was filled with creatures of all shapes and sizes. Welcome, friends, said the president. We're glad you're here. Together, we can defeat the Dark Council. A Zorbian stepped forward. We bring 1,000 ships to your cause, it said. A fluffy cloud person floated up. We offer our cloud cloaking technology. It said in a soft, wispy voice. The leader of the nanobots, speaking through a translator, squeaked. Our tiny warriors can infiltrate and disable Dark Council tech from the inside. Human leaders were amazed. With all this help, they might actually have a chance against the Dark Council. Meanwhile, in space, Captain Rodriguez and the crew of the Hope were teaching their new allies about Earth's battle tactics. We may not have the most advanced tech, she said, but we have something the Dark Council doesn't. Creativity and teamwork. The alien captains were impressed. They had never seen battle plans like this before. You humans think differently, said a rock giant captain. It's exciting. But the Dark Council wasn't sitting idle. Lord Vex was furious about losing a ship to Earth. Prepare the fleet, he ordered. We'll crush this little rebellion before it grows any larger. Dark Council ships began attacking planets that had joined Earth's alliance. But now, these planets were ready. Using strategies they learned from humans, they fought back hard. On the water world of Aquarius, Dark Council ships found themselves trapped in giant whirlpools created by the native merpeople. On the jungle planet Vinia, the plant-like inhabitants tangled the enemy ships in giant, fast-growing vines. Every victory against the Dark Council inspired more planets to join the fight. The galaxy was waking up, realizing they didn't have to live in fear anymore. Earth was at the center of it all. The planet became a hub of galactic activity. Alien ships filled the skies, and strange creatures walked the streets, working side by side with humans. In New York, Dr. Chen and her team were coordinating the biggest science project in history. Alien and human scientists worked together, combining their knowledge to find a way to stop the Galaxy Eater. I think we got something, said Dr. Patel one day. If we can get close enough to the Galaxy Eater, we might be able to overload its systems and shut it down. It was a dangerous plan. They would need to get past the Dark Council's entire fleet to reach the Galaxy Eater. But it was their best chance. As they prepared for this crucial mission, Lord Vex made his move. A massive Dark Council fleet appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. At its center was a ship bigger than anything anyone had ever seen. It was the Galaxy Eater. Alarms sounded all over Earth. This was it. The final battle was about to begin. Captain Rodriguez looked out at the fleet of Earth and its allies. Ships of all shapes and sizes were lined up, ready to fight. "This is Captain Rodriguez to all ships," she said over the radio. "Remember why we're here. We're fighting for our homes, our families, and our future. No matter what happens, we're making history today. Let's show the Dark Council what happens when the galaxy stands together." A cheer went up from every ship, humans and aliens, so different yet united, ready to risk everything to save the galaxy. As the two fleets faced each other, the fate of every living being hung in the balance. The greatest battle in galactic history was about to begin. The last battle. The sky above Earth was filled with ships. On one side, the dark, scary fleet of the Dark Council. On the other, the colorful mix of Earth's ships and their alien friends. In the middle, floating like a giant black star, was the Galaxy Eater. Captain Maria Rodriguez took a deep breath. She was leading Earth's main fleet in the Hope. "All ships ready for battle," she said into her radio. Thousands of pilots, human and alien, answered back. They were scared, but ready. On Earth, Dr. Chen and her team watched from their control room. "Remember the plan," she said to Captain Rodriguez. "We need to get close to the Galaxy Eater. That's the only way to stop it." Suddenly, the Dark Council fleet started moving. Hundreds of ships came at Earth's allies like angry bees. The battle had begun. Lasers filled space. Explosions bloomed like giant flowers. The Hope led Earth's ships right into the fight. Captain Rodriguez was a great pilot. She dodged enemy fire and took out 3 Dark Council ships in minutes. But the Dark Council had a surprise. From their big ships came thousands of small, fast fighter ships. They zipped around, causing chaos. "We didn't plan for this," shouted Jake from his ship. He was leading a group of Earth's best young pilots. That's when Earth's alien friends showed what they could do. The fluffy cloud people made their ships look like space clouds. They snuck up on the enemy fighters and took them out. The rock giants used their strong ships to protect the smaller ones. And the tiny nanobot ships flew into the Dark Council ships and messed up their computers. Lord Vex watched from the Galaxy Eater. He was angry. "Send in the destroyers," he ordered. 5 huge ships, almost as big as the Galaxy Eater, moved forward. "Watch out," yelled Captain Rodriguez. "Big ships coming." The destroyers shot huge laser beams. Each one took out many ships. Things were looking bad for Earth and its friends. But Dr. Chen had a plan. "Captain," she said, "use the secret weapon." Captain Rodriguez smiled. "You heard her," she said to her crew. "Let's show them what humans can do." The Hope flew straight at the destroyers. It looked crazy. But then, the Hope split into 5 smaller ships. Each one was still big and strong, but now they could fight the destroyers one-on-one. How did they do that? Lord Vex was shocked. He had never seen a ship that could split apart before. The battle was fierce. Ships on both sides were being destroyed. But slowly, Earth and its allies were winning. They worked together in ways the Dark Council had never seen. Finally, they had a clear path to the Galaxy Eater. But there was a problem. The Hope was damaged. It couldn't get close enough to stop the Galaxy Eater. "I'll do it," said Jake. His ship was small and fast. "I can get in close." "But Jake," said Dr. Chen, "you might not survive." Jake took a deep breath. "For Earth and for the galaxy," he said. Then he flew straight at the Galaxy Eater. Lord Vex saw the small ship coming. "Destroy it," he yelled. But Jake was too fast. He dodged everything they shot at him. Jake's ship hit the Galaxy Eater. There was a big flash of light. For a moment, everyone thought Jake was gone. But then, the Galaxy Eater started to break apart. Explosions ran all over its surface. Lord Vex and the Dark Council leaders tried to escape, but it was too late. Their mighty weapon was destroying itself. And there, flying out of the explosions, was Jake's ship. He had done it. He had stopped the Galaxy Eater and survived. A huge cheer went up from every ship in Earth's fleet. The Dark Council ships that were left turned and ran away. The battle was over. They had won. As ships started flying back to Earth, Captain Rodriguez sent out one last message. This is Earth to the galaxy. The Dark Council is defeated. We're all free now. And to any bad guys out there thinking of causing trouble, remember this day. Remember what happens when the galaxy stands together. Remember humanity. On Earth, people came out of their homes and looked up at the sky. The big space battle was over, but they could still see flashes of light up there. Humans hugged each other, and their new alien friends too. Dr. Chen and her team were crying and laughing at the same time. They had done it. Humanity had led the galaxy to victory. As the sun set on this historic day, Earth had changed forever. Humans were no longer alone in the universe. They had made friends, fought a great evil, and won. The future was bright, full of new adventures and discoveries. And somewhere out there, flying his damaged but still moving ship, Jake smiled. Best school project ever, he said to himself as he headed home to a grateful planet and a grateful galaxy.